What's going on, everybody? Back for our third video of this week. I promised you guys an update on the fish room. So guess what time it is? It's update time. Not only will you get an update on the fish room, you're going to see a whole bunch of new tanks set up. Also been doing some shopping. You'll see here that I have picked up 2 more of the lights for the breeder wall. So I'll be putting those 2 lights on the bottom row of the breeder wall. So shine some light on the bottom breeders. So we'll see in a couple days on the next update video. You should be able to see that. Again, I want to thank everybody for subscribing. I've broke 500 subscribers. An awesome accomplishment as far as I'm concerned. Really cool, and can't wait to break 1,000, and thinking of doing some kind of contest when I hit 1,000. So we'll see what happens there, hopefully soon. All right, on to the fish room update. First, everybody's been asking me and wanting to see my new breeding colony. There they are, my deep water haps. Look at that bad boy right there. Fresh out of the box yesterday from John at KG Tropicals. Every bit at 5 inches, if not 6 inches on that male. And he is a beauty. And to add to him, got him a bunch of girly friends. And if those aren't beautiful females, I don't know what is. These are probably the most beautiful females out of all the breeders that I have. Love the stripes on them and the stripe across their eye. They also have red tops on their fins. Very beautiful fish. Very excited about these. Can't wait for them to get to work. So we'll see what happens there. Below that is my Tangerine Tiger breeding colony. And as usual, they're the most skittish fish on the planet. They're all hiding back there. I did take the second male out and put it in my peacock and hap tank inside, and I'll show you guys that in a little bit. Next to that is my Super Red Empress breeding colony. And there's my absolutely gorgeous male there, showing full color. He's knocked up 2 females this week, and he's still working. You can see all the females tucked over here into the corner. And I'll show you the 2 holding females that I have in the tanks behind me. Get this ladder out of the way here. Today also I went shopping to a guy I know and picked up these fellas here. This is a nice batch of 1.5 to 2 inch ivory head Molotos. And I'm sure you guys are going to ask, well, aren't you breeding those? Well, yes I am, but I got all 20 of these ivory head Molotos for 50 bucks. So I am not turning that down. And because I have no tops on these tanks, 3 of my breeder females thought they could fly. So I'm going to use some of these to restock my breeding colony. But you know, when you come across a deal like that, you can't pass them up. And I'll show you why I choose to go back to this guy in a second when I show you my breeder males on the other side. Absolutely gorgeous breeder males. Below that is my own batch of ivory head Molotos. Below that, these are all new tanks down here on this bottom row. This is albino red tops and Kenyais. Next to that is a nice sized batch of Red Empress, getting an inch to 1.25 inch size. This tank here has a huge batch of Apache peacocks, and then this tank down here has an even bigger batch of Regal Blues. Moving up, you've seen these before, my Aratus Convicts. Another set of new tanks up here. I have a nice size batch of Taiwan Reefs in there. Next to that is my Ethel Waney breeding colony for now. And my breeder male is out right there. And he is absolutely beautiful, and I'm hoping he's going to turn sideways for you. Let's see if we can get him to turn. There he goes. He is showing all of his color right now. His top fins and his dorsal fins are velvet purple, and his face is purple, and look at those anal spots on him. Just shining, opalescent. I have picked up some more females on this last shipment when I got the Regal Blues. He's coming up to show off for you guys. If that ain't a gorgeous fish, I don't know what is. And you can now see, while he is now my favorite fish, with the exception of the deep waters I just got, this is my favorite peacock. And I'm right on board with John at KG Tropicals with these guys, because he is just gorgeous. Moving on. This is a nice sized batch of red top Luanda fry. And up here, another new tank. This one came with sand in it, and I'm loving the sand. And this is a nice sized batch of flavescence. Moving on to the other side, you will see a full row of new tanks down here on the bottom. Well, not new, they're used, and I've cleaned them up and set them up. I was able to pick up 10 more 20-gallon tanks for $100. Just had to do a little cleaning job, so I'm not complaining there. And down there is a nice sized batch of German Reds. Above that is my Chillawilla Red Shoulder colony, and he's been working this week. He's got 3 females behind me holding. Up here is a nice batch of German Reds, which are about 1.25 inches and growing, and starting to show some color. That guy right there is definitely a male. His fins are turning red on the top, so we're getting close to the time where I can tell male from female on those. My Aratus breeding colony, and speak of the devil there, that is the reason that I go back an hour and a half away to pick up these ivory head Molotos. Look at that breeder male there. It is worth the journey, and the price is unbelievable at less than $3 a piece for something that turns into that. And he has gotten to work. I have 2 more holding females behind me that I'm about to strip, or they're about to spit on their own. So he's working. Below that is a very large batch of Angara Flametails. Not sure you'll be able to see them in there with the gravel that I have, but trust me, they're in there. There's about 75 or 80 of them. Next to that, another very large batch of OBs, probably 75 to 100 in there. Up here is my albino red top breeding colony. The male is right there sticking his head out, and he's all of 6.5, 7 inches. He's a beast, he's huge. The females are always fighting with each other. I have 2 females behind me and a tank, a hospital tank that I've got full of salt and some other stuff trying to heal them up. Above that, my Kenyai breeding colony. Next to that, another new tank, another batch of Taiwan Reefs. Never go wrong with having a bunch of these. And these guys are probably about 1/2 inch to 3/4 range now. So they're growing. Below that, you guys have seen this. This is an OB Peacock batch. And then this is from a tank inside. That is my extra albino red top breeder. And, you know, a couple fish I'm trying to get rid of. I'm trying to sell those. Over here is my grow out tank with my Tangerine Tigers and my first batch of OBs. And you can see there's a bunch of them in here, but since I put them in here, they've doubled in size in the last 2 weeks. So these guys are pushing 2 inches now and showing full color. There is a male right there. There's an OB male showing full color right there. And the peacocks are already breeding. I pulled 3 females out of here already. So there's no shortage of OBs or tangerine tigers in this fish room. And a lot of people say tangerine tigers are hard to come by, so that's a good thing for me. Okay, to the holding wall. Taiwan Reef. And I have stripped what I could out of her, what she would let me. And they're in an egg tumbler there. A holding flavescent. 2 holding German Reds. This is one of those OBs from the tank that I just showed you. And she has spit out 5 or 6 little OB babies. So we have another little batch there. You can see Chillawilla Red Shoulder there, and you can see a huge mouthful on her. Below that, another batch of Regal Blues. Here are the 2 ivory head females holding huge mouthfuls. Up here is another Chillawilla Red Shoulder. This is a brand new tank that I just picked up today at the $1 per gallon sale, along with 2 others just like it behind him. This is another holding tangerine tiger. And this tank has the albino red tops I told you about that got their butts handed to them. And it wasn't the male, it was the females fighting with each other. You can see her tail was completely chewed off. It's starting to grow back, so she's doing well in there. And her partner in crime is right there. And you can see she's got some chips out of her tail and got beat up a little bit, so I put her in this hospital tank to heal her up too. This is my new water filling device. I hooked this to the end of my hose. I got this from Cichlid Man 09, watching one of his videos. Man, does it make things easier. I don't have to sit and hold the hose while I fill it up. I put a valve on the bottom, and it hangs on any tank I want it to, and I can let it fill up at whatever pace I want it to by adjusting the valve and move on to doing water change on the tank next to it, so I can do 2 things at once now. Makes my water change, probably cuts couple to 3 hours off my water change process. Here's to give you a glimpse of what I was dealing with the tanks I picked up. This is what they look like when I got them. He had his tank sideways, so he had all but one end painted. So what I do is I scrape the paint off of one side, off the face of them. That way, because I don't have mine sideways. And then you can see how dirty these tanks are, so I've been doing some cleaning on them also. But that's the last one, and that one's going to go over there on the 40-gallon end right there, because we had a little spot left, so we built another shelf to hold 3 more 20s. Okay, over to this side, another holding Chillawilla Red Shoulder. Here's the other 2 new 10-gallon tanks. Holding Red Empress. And just to give you an idea, here's another holding Red Empress. My Red Empress females are huge. That Red Empress is probably 7-8 inches. And the other one you can see is hiding back behind the filter, but she's huge too. Up here is a holding Red Top Lawanda. Over here, a holding Regal Blue. Below that, holding OB. Today, the female spit out this batch. I'm not sure if you guys can pick that up or not, but there's another new batch of OB Peacock. Next to that, a batch of German Reds. Up here in the egg tumbler, there is a batch of Angara Flametails. And they are close. They have a little bit of egg sac left, but they are almost ready to come out of the egg tumbler. Over here, you can see another holding OB Peacock with a huge mouthful. I'd say she'll be spitting her babies out anytime now. onto the breeder wall with the new lighting. Those two new lights will go down on this bottom row underneath here, so I can light up these 4 tanks down here. And then you will see up here that at the $1 per gallon sale, I also picked up my remaining 3 29-gallon breeder tanks. So this rack is now full. But let me give you a glimpse of what I got on here. This guy is absolutely gorgeous. This is my albino Taiwan Reef. He's huge. He'll be going into a 40-gallon breeder on the other wall here soon. That's what I wanted to get at the $1 per gallon sale today, but they were out of them. There's one of his females. There's another one tucked back behind the sponge filter. Above that is my red top Luandas. There's the male there. Above that is my Angara Flametails, and there's the male there. He's getting to work. He's got all the females tucked up in the top of the tank up there. This is my German Red breeding colony. Look at that guy. Can you say sexy? Below that, my Taiwan Reef breeding colony. There is my Taiwan Reef breeder there. He is gorgeous. And as soon as I get another 40-gallon, this will be the other hap moving over onto the 40-gallon breeder wall. So these 2 tanks, both the Taiwan Reefs, will go onto the hap wall in the 40-gallon breeders. Next to that is my OB Peacock breeding colony. Oop. My Red Empress female is freaking out behind me. Above that is my Regal Blues. There is the male there. Absolutely gorgeous. Next to that, my Flavescent breeding colony. Another gorgeous male. And one of my, what we thought was female, is turning male. And he is, I think that one right there, you can see the yellow coming in on his head. And this top fin is turning blue. That's definitely a male. So he will be coming out and going into the Peacock Hap show tank inside. Up here I will be moving the Ethel Wanies, the Ivory Head Melotos, and the Chillawilla Red Shoulders over to here. And then once I get the 40-gallon breeders, I think I'm going to hold like a little question and answer type thing and have you guys pick my last 2 peacock breeders. I was thinking Sunshine Yellow Bangas and maybe Eureka Red Jakes, something of that nature, but yeah, hit me up in the comments and give me some ideas of what you guys think would be some good peacocks to put in those 2 tanks down there. Below that in this last tank is my Apache breeding colony. There's the male right there. He's got a bunch of females in here and he's very productive. I got huge batches of Apaches. All right, everybody. Well, that's this week's fish room update. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, in the comments, leave me what you guys think the last 2 peacock breeders should be. And also, if you want to throw at me some hap ideas, I'm willing for that too, because I got plenty of room still for my hap wall. Basically, I only have 3, 4, 5 hap breeding colonies right now. So I still have room for, what, 7, 8 more? So yeah, hit me up in the comments. Also, I'm thinking about starting a new series of videos on my channel. I get a lot of questions about how you go about starting a fish room and how to build it and where to get stuff. So I'm thinking about doing a series explaining that and telling you the process behind it and where to get where I got everything from and where to go and who to get it from and how. I get a lot of questions on how to build these racks. So I'll go into detail on that, but the main thing with building the racks is this dado joint right there.